Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I just got done filming Get Ready With Me, so that was my last video. Make sure to go check that out, link down below. If you're new here, hi, my name's Nick. I post really anything. And if you're returning here, thanks. Anyways, new or returning, subscribe please. Follow my social media links down below, and let's get to it. Today's video is going to be a story time. Now, I'm not going to be like Tana Mojo, being like, he fucked me with a toothbrush. Like, okay. Anyways, but my story time is kind of out there, so no judge. So I am going to be a hypocrite. This is my blue wig. First of all, I don't really wear her a lot, but I'm kind of feeling it. The earrings, the hat, the look. I'm feeling myself today, bitch. Ugh. Anyways, so today's story time is kind of a spooky one. If you're down, hey, cool, thanks. And if you're not, bye. Yeah, I'm not wearing nails. Don't get me started. Anyways, I have food on my fucking foot. Anyways, so how should we begin? The story time is about the time I worked at a haunted school. Now, I always talked about this vaguely in a 20-part series on my TikTok. If you haven't seen it, you can go look over there. If you want a quick wrap up, there's like a part 20 that just like wraps up the whole story in 1 minute. I'm going into details, so if you want full detail, stick around. But you'll also check out my TikTok. Anyways, so this is the time that I worked at a haunted school for 1 day and then quit because I got chased out by a demon. So where do we start? I got the job because my brother worked for the company. There was a company I was contracted through the local school district. They don't want me talking. I got contracted through the company to work through one of the local school districts, if that makes sense, if you're keeping up. Anyways, the school district that I live in, well, nearby, that I would be working in, is mainly, this high school is a middle school course, but it's mainly elementary schools. So I'm like, okay, that's fun, cool. And when I got hired in through the company, they told me it'd be third shift. It paid well over minimum wage. I don't know about your state, but here minimum wage, especially at the time, it just started at the time when I got that job. When I got hired in at this place, at the company, minimum wage here in Michigan, where I'm from and live, was like $8.25 an hour. Yeah, it was shit. It's gone up since then. It's like $9.75, $10 an hour now, but like, anyways, it paid well over minimum wage. It paid like $11.30 an hour or something like that. $11.50 if you, at the end of the year, you would get a 20 cents raise per hour, which was like, okay. But it was way above minimum wage, so I was like, done. I'll clean toilets, I don't care. I got bills to pay. Anyways, so I started the job, I want to say September 15th. Like, I got hired in just after the school year began. So I got hired in, they told me the schools I would be working at, and I'm like, okay, dope. But I wasn't going to start right away. because I said I needed about 3 weeks from my previous job that I was working at, which that's another story time. Very homophobic. Had me spraying down customers with Febreze. It was not good. Anyways, I digress. They said, okay, dope. I didn't start till probably around October 20th. I don't remember the exact day. But I started, I got my list. They emailed me it. It was a list. I was working 2 schools per night. I worked 12-hour shifts. Really fun. But I had like a 2-hour break in between the 2 schools for my dinner/lunch. And so what would happen is the school that's nearest to me, that's only like 3 blocks away from where I live, which is where my little brothers go to, fun fact. Well, I shouldn't say that because also like they don't want to be on the internet. They're really like that. Anyways, I worked from there from 3:15 till probably about 9-ish. And then actually, no, I worked there from 3 to 8, and then from 8 to 10, I had my break, and then from 10 till 3 in the morning, I worked at the school. Now, the school my little brothers go to, the one that's down, the first one that I would work at, and I had these schools for 2 weeks straight. That was my schools for 2 weeks, and then every 2 weeks they switched me out to a different school. The first school was fine. It was easy. Then I got picked up by my mom because, for a fact, I don't have my license. Still don't. Didn't at that time. Didn't have a car. Still don't. My mom's grateful. Not grateful. But yeah, bitch, you better be grateful to take me to work. But no, she was gracious, not grateful, to take me to work and help the bitch out. And she picked me up. We got dinner. I ate it in the car. It was fine. I think it was like McDonald's or whatever. That's not really the point. But you guys face this way. See, that's the spirit saying, bitch, get on track. I can't help but looking at myself. Ooh. Anyways, I legitimately started the school. Now, when I say this school is in the middle of nowhere, it's in the middle of fucking nowhere. Fun fact, the town that I live in is legit under 20,000 people. It's not where I'm actually from. I moved here when I was like 16. The place where I'm actually from is actually a village up north. It's under like 800 people. It's very small. But it's in the middle of nowhere, the school, the second one, that's haunted. And I go there, you pull in, and it's right in the middle of a field. It's kind of like how I describe it. Kind of think how a peninsula is, how it's like 3 sides surrounded by water, and then one side it's connected to land. It's kind of like that, but instead of water, it's 3 sides cornfield, and then one side that's in the back, nothing but woods for a good mile straight. And at the other end of that mile, you wanna know what's on the other end of that mile? A fucking cemetery. Yeah, that's a cemetery. That's over, like, I think 130 years old. It's old. So I'm like, oh, okay. I go there, I show up, I meet the guy who's working, because there's an actual janitor who's contracted through the school itself, hired through the school itself, and that's the company I work for at both schools. At least they're supposed to be. Anyways, so I go, meet the guy. He tells me I get the hall, the way the building is set up, it's like main hallway, like the entrance hallway, first hallway, a little divot, and then other hallway. And this school is from pre-K through 6th grade. he had 3rd grade through 6th grade, I believe, and then I had the rest of the grades, plus the main law entrance hall. That's what I had to do. And I had to be there till 3 a.m. Well, actually 2 a.m. because my boss said, he told all of us employees, like, hey, I wasn't the only employee doing that, like working at night like that, those hours. He told all of us, if it's an hour before our shift's supposed to end, we can call him, be like, hey, can we go home? Done job, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you can go. So technically I had to be there till 2, and at this point it's like 10 at night. So it's like 4 hours, right? 4 or 5 hours. But also, like, I wanted the money, so I was gonna stay all till 3. Anyways, so I meet him. It's getting late. I do the hallway. I finish it within an hour and a half max. It's done. I finished all the classrooms and all that. It was very easy, a simple job. All you have to do is change the trash cans, sweep the floors, put the chairs up on the table, wipe down the tables. That's it. And then maybe mop. So my last classroom was at the end of the hall. Because at the end of each hall there's doors that lead outside. My classroom was at the end of the hall by those doors because I knew part of my job description. I had to make sure the doors were locked behind anyone who was leaving through them. There was a teacher with her kids in the classroom, and I get to talking because I was like, I'm going to be working here. I wanted to know technically my coworker, even though she's a teacher. And I get to know them, so I'm going to see, probably them for the next couple of weeks. And her kids were like playing under the tables and all that. They were like 10-year-old boys. And then I think like a 6-year-old girl. She had like 3 of them in the classroom. She was really nice. And then the guy, the coworker, I don't want to say his name, so we're going to call him Tom. Tom walks in. He connects. They apparently are really good friends. He was like, oh yeah, and we were just talking, and then she gathers her kids up, and she's about to leave, and we walk towards the door at the end of the hallway, because that's the door she's leaving through, and I had to make sure the doors were locked, right? And she said, oh, by the way, just to let you know, if they mess with you tonight, that means they like you. I'm like, thinking logically, even though like I don't know about you, like if someone said that to me, I'd be like, okay, what? I mean, I've had ghost experiences in the past, so I do believe in the supernatural, spiritual realm and all that, but like thinking logically, I noticed she had kids there, so I was like, oh, maybe she has her kids here every night, and she's warning me, they can be little shits. So if they bother you, that means they really like you. I was like, oh, fun. Fun. But, yeah, I didn't think nothing else. And he said the same thing. Tom said the same thing. He's like, oh, yeah, you're going to have fun with them tonight. I'm like, she's taking her kids. Is there more people in the building that I need to know about? Like, I'm not even thinking about ghosts or whatever. I'm thinking, I want to get the job done. I want to go home and go to bed. Don't mess with me, because I'll punch you. I'll say it was friendly fire. Anyways, so nothing too eventful. She leaves with her kids. We lock the door behind her. It's just me and Tom in the building. We know it's just us, so we do a walkthrough of every single room, every single classroom, every single office. We do a walkthrough. It's only us. And then we head back to the custodial lounge. Now, the custodial lounge is the way, if this makes sense, if you can picture it, you have to walk through the cafeteria. There's the custodial lounge, and then like 20 feet over is the entrance to the kitchen. Now the custodial lounge has 2 entrances to it. It's like kind of like one of those bathrooms, you see in TV shows and movies that they like a 2-bedroom share a bathroom, like, if that makes sense, you know, it's kind of like that. Now Tom, at this time, it's like almost 11:30 something, midnight. It was very quick. I don't even remember the time exactly. I think in the story time on TikTok it said like 11:30. It had to have been later, but he tells me, hey, I have a third shift stocking job at Walmart. So I'm gonna jot down the code, and you're gonna be locking up. I'm gonna teach you how to lock up, set the code, and you're gonna be locking up tonight, and I'm gonna show you where you have to exit. So I don't know if you parked in the front. I said I did not park in the front. I did not drive, but that's good to know. I did not know I was locking up. Fun fact. I was like, I thought someone was staying with me the whole night, especially it's my first night in a new building. Like, you want me to lock up? Okay, fine, dope, cool. So he writes down the code, he shows me, he tells me this is where you have to exit, and then, like, the only other way, if you're getting picked up, they don't know how to get in the back here, the only other way is you have to walk around the building to go out front. I was like, fine. So yeah, he leaves like 10 minutes after showing me, and we, you know, practice setting the alarm and all that, and it's all good. I had the alarm written down on a piece of paper, set it on the desk and everything. I'm like, dope. He leaves and it's quiet, and then it gets to be about almost 1 in the morning. And at this point, I'm bored. I can't leave yet. And I'm very tempted to, like, at 2, because I knew an hour early is the earliest. I'm very tempted. I'm like, maybe I call my boss. Maybe I call Adam. We'll call him. I'm not going to say my ex-boss's real name. Maybe we call him at 2. You know, I'm like very tempted because it's very boring. There's no TV, no Wi-Fi, nothing. Like, I'm using my data, and the building's like brick and steel, so like the service is very crappy. So I get up, I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna be in this building for another 2 weeks, maybe more. Who knows if I stay here. I'm gonna, you know, travel the building, look around, have fun. So I said, I already know my hallways that I cleaned. I was there for like a good hour and a half, 2 hours. I'm gonna check his hallways, because I was only there for like 5 minutes in his hallways. I'm gonna look around in his hallways more. So I walk and I go down my hallway, and then I go to that little bit. As soon as I turn, and I'm about to turn into his hallway, the vibes changed, dude. They changed. Like, at first, when I started turning into his hallway that he cleaned, it started feeling like I was being watched. You know that feeling like, oh, someone's looking at you. I'm like, oh my god, do I have shit in my face? You know. But then I walk and I'm like, I'm new here, it's first night, new building, yada yada, maybe nerves. So I'm walking down the hallway. Get probably halfway down the hallway. And the only reason why I only get halfway down, and I don't know the reason why I wanted to walk down the hallway. I had to check the doors anyways, part of the job description. So like I said, there's doors at the end of each hallway to make sure they were locked. I get halfway down, and then I start hearing footsteps. And I get the feeling of someone, like, you know, close to me, like, you know, that feeling when you're in, like, standing in line and someone's like in your bubble and you're like, back up, dude, like, back the fuck up. Like, I start doing that on my back, and I turn, no one's there. And then I kind of look, like, at my peripherals, and at every psychic medium person that I've seen online and heard from in person, they always say you always see spirits through your peripherals. So, I saw someone standing behind me when I tried to walk down while looking kind of behind me in my peripherals. I'm like, no. So I'm like, that door's locked. I turn around. I'm booking it. And then I check my other hallway. I walk and then the vibes go back to normal. I'm like, oh, fuck. I thought it was like him. He was just curious where I went. He saw me. He probably forgot something. Went back. He's like, oh, he's checking the hallway. Okay, dope. I can go get whatever I forgot and then leave. But then also, like, thought was in my mind, I was like, he didn't say hi, so did he not like me? Did he not like me? Now I know it was a demon, so I'm like, I don't care. But, anyways, so, yeah, I checked in the hallway, on my hallway that I cleaned, and I turn around, and I walk, and I notice there was a broom. I forgot a broom in the hallway, and I pick it up, and I grab it, because I have to take it back to the custodial closet. And as soon as I start walking, I swear to God, I hear, like, pitter-patter. Sounds like little kid footsteps. Turn around, nothing. It's a hallway, nowhere to hide, and like straight up empty hallway. All the doors are locked. You need a key to get into the rooms. So I'm like, So I'm like, this is not falling to me to my hallway. No. So I'm like, you can have it. At this point, you can have it. I'm trying to make the story a little bit more shorter because I'm looking at the clock. It's already 22 minutes in. I don't want to be here for like 45 minutes. I doubt you guys want to be here for 45 minutes. So basically, nothing really happened until like stuff happened. I walked. There was footsteps. That's basically all it. That's why I heard. Made it to put the broom back. Turn around to check to make sure no one's there again, and I saw a light shining underneath the door. It was the classroom that one teacher I was talking to. It was her classroom. I'm like, oh, maybe that was her kid that I saw, because he was pretty tall. But the person that I saw through my peripherals kind of looked like an adult. So I go down and check, because I'm like, fuck this. I hold the broom in my hand still. Key in the other. I unlock the door. I open it. All the chairs are up. No one's in there. The lights are on. No one's in there. I look under the tables. You can clearly see across the room under the tables. No one's in there. And then I look under the teacher's desk. No one's in under the desk. I walk to the window. Make sure the window is fully shut and locked, and the screen's still on and everything. I look at the screen. It's bolted in. It's bolted in. The window's locked. I'm like, what the hell? Like, and I turn around and I'm facing the door. And now, to preface this, the way the building is, it's kind of off-centered and leans towards the woods, which is in the back of the building. Her classroom is towards the back of the building, and the way the hallway goes, it's like, here's the back of the building, here's the hallway. And I open the door all the way, leaning on the wall. So there's no way for the door to be going like that, slowly shutting, without someone pushing it, or whatever. You know what I mean? Because also the door is very heavy. It's one of those like fire safety doors that's supposed to be like bulletproof and everything. So it's like, it's very heavy. I'm like, oh hell no. I drop my keys, drop the broom, and I run and I book it. As soon as I make it out of that door, that is like literally like 4 feet from shutting completely, it goes boom and shuts behind me. I'm like, the broom is still in there. I lost my weapon. The keys are in there, so I can't even get back in there. The lights are on. I'm like, fuck this. Fuck this. My time is almost up. I'm calling early. Fuck the hour extra pay. I'm calling home. I'm going home. So I just book it. Not like running. I'm like speed walking because like I'm trying to save my energy, and also like that's a lot of work. Even if it's a haunting or a demon, what? I ain't gonna run. Like fuck no, no. You can't. No, no. Anyways, so I make it down the hallway. I'm like, nope, going home. I'm hearing footsteps and lower kid laughter behind me. I'm like, I'm not checking back. And I hear them following me, the footsteps. I'm like, I turn around just to see if anyone's there. Because I'm at the point, I don't care. I'll punch a kid. Like, you asked for it, bitch. I'll punch you. Square up. Freaking me out. No one's there, and where I stopped was in front of the library. Now the library was in the front of the building. The library had floor-to-ceiling windows. It was like a whole wall of windows, the front wall. Because in the front of the building was not only the parking lot, but it was also in one section the playgrounds. Like I said, behind the buildings, nothing but woods. It was a weird layout for a school. Anyways, because the parking lot had parking lot lights, you could see anything like backlit. You could see anything standing or placed in front of those windows, right? You could see it. There's no curtains, rubber, the light's shining through. And I kid you not, I'm like 6'3.5", 6'4". I kid you not, I see someone standing in front of the window, clear as day. I don't see their face because they're backlit, you know. I see them, and they're taller than me, just standing, and I know they're looking at me. I like the way their body or whatever it was is positioned. It's like looking directly at me. It's like, and I don't want to say too much of what I saw because I know the description of what I saw. If I gave a description, if you Google that description, it's a very popular demonic spirit. I will say the person was a tall man, maybe, and it looked like they were wearing a hat. We'll just say that. It looked like they were wearing a certain hat. That meant, if you catch my drift. And I'm like, no. I literally did that. I'm like, nope, I'm going to the office. Now, I go in the office, I shut the doors, they lock on behind me, I put chairs in front of both doors, I grab the hammer, and I grab my phone, and I call my boss, Adam, I'm going home, like it or not. Now, Adam, fun fact, at the time, was an atheist. Now he's not. So this is telling you a lot. I call him, tell him what's going on, tell him like, hey, I'm left here alone, blah, blah, blah. He didn't even know I was being left alone. He didn't even know. I'm like, I got the code and all that. I can set it. I just want to get out of here. I don't, someone's in the building. I don't know. Can you call? I don't care who you call, but I'm getting the hell out of here. And he's like, okay. And I told him I think it's a ghost, to be honest, so I don't think the cops need to come. I mean, if you want to call him, you can call him. And he's like, you think it's a ghost, really? He's like, really a ghost? you sure you just don't want to like get out of there earlier than you're supposed to? Like, he was not believing it. He was not like, I'm like, dude, it's a fucking ghost or a demon. I don't care. I want the fuck out. And I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. Kid you not, the phone starts going staticky. He goes blah blah blah, and it cuts out for a good like minute. He comes back in screaming. He's like, get the hell out of there. I'm like, what happened? And he said a voice came over the phone that was not yours, and it said, you need to tell him to leave or we will make him. And I'm like, huh? I'm a nice person. Why don't you like me? The remote to this TV is over there, and the one's over there. That just turned on. I'm finishing this up quick. It's already 31 minutes in. Anyway, so I'm like, okay, good, I'm leaving. He's like, good, I'm calling the principal and all that. I'll be over there too because I have a key. Calling so-and-so. We're all gonna be there. Just wait till we show up and then you can leave, but wait out in the parking lot. I'm like, dope, I'm leaving. Hang up with him, call my mom. My mom, pick me up, I'm scared. This ghost. Help a bitch. Mommy. She's like, I'm 5 minutes away. I'm like, no, you're coming now. You're a minute away. You're here already. She's like, I'm 5 minutes away. And then a big boom hit the door. Remember, I said the doors, I shut. There was a big boom. She's like, She said, I'm coming. I'm just going to hold up this in the name of Jesus and my angels and my spirit guides. She said, I'm coming. I told her I have to exit through the back. She did not know, so I was like, fine, I don't care. I'll walk around the building. I'll meet you out front. Bitch, just get your ass here. She's like, dope, I'm coming. I'm good. I'm keeping the hammer. I got a box cutter also in my pocket. I'm like, if this is a real person, I'm a fight. I'm a throw down. But I can't do that with ghosts. The only thing I can throw down at them is like, power of Christ compel ya. But yeah. I'm like, I'm good, I got the code, I'm ready to go, fuck the lights, I don't care. They say, you left the lights on? I'm like, you left your demons in the building? I'm like, anyways, I put my hand on the door that leads to the back hallway, the area that I had to go to set the code to leave and all that, and I'm like, fuck, I forgot my wallet. Out in the cafeteria on one of the tables. So I had to go out in the cafeteria. I go out in the cafeteria. I'm like, I'm going to try to shut off these lights at least. I got a weapon, a holding weapon. I said, don't try me. Don't try me. I hit the lights. And the light switches, they tell you when they're off. Like, it goes from where it's on, so like engraved on the switch, to off. And as soon as I went boom, the lights didn't go off. I went boom again, still didn't go off. I literally had to go off, and I said it firmly. I commanded it. The lights turned off. So I walked through the kitchen. I was like, I'm gonna turn off the other. I'm like, it's listening. It knows I mean business. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to turn off the staff lounge lights. So I walk through the kitchen into the staff lounge because there's like an entrance. The way I describe it is, here's the cafeteria, here's the entrance to the kitchen, and then here's another entrance to the staff lounge. The doors are all open so you can see directly into each other, the three rooms. So I go in the staff lounge, can't find the light switches anywhere because I didn't really spend a lot of time in there looking for them. Earlier, getting to know that room. I'm like, fine. I look, because I know something out of the corner of my eye. I look through the doorway through the kitchen into the cafeteria, The lights are on again. I'm like, no. I got everything I need. I got everything out of the office. I'm good. I'm leaving. I set the code. I leave. I go out the back door. I'm like, God damn bye. God damn bye. Now, the way this back parking lot looks, it's only one section for parking. There's a grass section in between the parking lot and the building that's like 5 feet wide, and the length of the building. And then in between the parking lot, that's like one strip of parking spaces for the teachers and all that, is a like 3-foot gap between that and the trees of grass. I go outside, there's only one light lighting up the whole damn thing above the trash can that's next to the back door that had an exit. I'm like, I don't care. Let the moonlight light my way. I will go around the building. I feel much safer out here. Like, I feel much safer out here than I did in the building. So I walk. I'm like, by now mom should be out front. By now they should be out front. I'm good. I'm good. Then I hear footsteps in the grass. On each side of me. No one's there. So I walk. I go like this. I speed walk. I kick off my shoes because I can't run in shoes. I can run barefoot, but I can't run in shoes. So I kick off my shoes. I'm a nasty bitch. I did barefoot outside. I'm like, nope. And also gave me 2 extra weapons to throw at them. I'm like, have the Skechers, not my life. Got a hole in my shirt. Anyways, yeah, that's about it. And like the footsteps were on both sides, and then they came to be only on this side of me because I was going this way, and on this side was the grass patch between the parking lot and the woods. And if you remember earlier that I said on the other side of that woods, like a good mile away, was a cemetery. Yeah. So I heard them, and the way that it was sounding, it was like, here's me and here's them. It sounded like they were trying to intercept me. You know, kind of like a tackle. Or I don't know if they were trying to attach themselves to me, like, or what. I'm like, no. And I got to the point where I started running, and I almost made it to the end of the parking lot where I would have to turn to go around the building, and I would be, like, in the front of the building. I'm like, oh, Jesus, God, angels, please have mom be there, have mom be there. And then all of a sudden, these headlights pull up behind me. I don't see what car it is. I'm still like, I'm more on the paranormal side, but I'm like, still could be someone trying to hurt me, who knows. So I'm like, I turn around, I'm like, I see the light, I'm like, I'm going towards the light. I see the light, I'm going towards the light. And I book it. I get there, it was my mom. It was my mom. She was there, she said, I found the way to get in the back. I didn't know. She said, I found it, I just showed up, what's going on? And I said, we need to get out of here, it is not safe. We need to get out of here, it is not safe. And she's like, what's going on? And then we started hearing footsteps because the windows were down. And my door was still kind of cracked open. We started hearing footsteps, and we looked in front of us, and the headlights on the ground, because at this time, there was some leaves on the ground, not a lot. In the leaves, in the grass, on the ground, where I said I heard the footsteps trying to, like, tackle me, basically. There were footstep impressions being made in the grass, in the ground. Walking slowly towards the car. I'm like, we got to go. And she's like, we got to go. And we left. I got home. I fall asleep. I woke up. My whole body was aching. I woke up 20 minutes before my shift would have began on my second day. I called my boss. I said the keys were left in the building. Pretty sure you know this now. My fob I still do have, luckily, because I did not put down the keys. I'm going to return it, and I quit. Bye. Like, very unprofessional, but I don't care. No. Like, I don't mind ghosts. I don't mind, like, I worked at other haunted places, I swear, that were haunted. But they were nice. That was not nice. That was evil. What good spirit, I don't care, child or what good spirit haunts a school? Like, no. So, yeah. That was the story time. Let me know if you liked it. Comment down below, subscribe, like, share if you didn't. Thumbs down, I don't care. If you have any ghost stories or paranormal experiences, let me know. If you're new again, subscribe. Follow my social media links down below. And yeah. Wow. It was a 41-minute long video. I'm sorry, but if you sit along through it, you're a cool bitch. Comment down below the black heart emoji. If you do that, you are a real bitch. You're a real bitch. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching. My name's Nick again. Subscribe, comment, like, share, and see you next time. Bye.